Okay guys, here at the park and gonna test out the Hubsan X4 Pro. Just do a few of the things that some of the functions like return to home and test out the GPS mode and altitude hold mode. Just a little bit of testing here today. See how the video works and all that. Got to do the compass calibration first and then we'll take off. Turn on the camera. Alright, so we got video. Great. And let's start recording. Okay, we're recording now. Alright, you gotta calibrate the compass. Rotate twice. That's doing okay. Compass 2, nose down. Okay, there we go. Lights are solid. Surface level. I got 12 satellites. I'm going to take off in GPS hold mode first. I'm going to arm and then throttle up. Here we go. It's pretty stable. Very first launch. It's loud. Let's see if I can see myself in the video. Yep, there I am. Wow, it's actually quite stable. Not moving at all. There's no sensors underneath, so it can't take a picture of the ground like the Mavic can. So it's actually pretty good for just barometer and GPS. Oh, that is very loud. Okay, so let's fly this around a little bit. Let's go forward. Get that away. That is quite loud. I guess 9-inch propellers or whatever that is pretty loud. Pick it up a little bit. There's not much wind today, so we should get some pretty stable video, even though there's no actual gimbal on there, just a one-axis gimbal. I'm going to the right. Go forward. Actually pretty stable. I'm actually pretty surprised. This is an older model. It's been around since about April, I think, of this year, but they've done a lot of firmware updates since then. So if you've seen some videos earlier this year where there's a lot of problems, I think they've corrected a lot of those. It looks much better than some of the videos I've seen. Just doing a thing to see how well the sticks react. It's quite docile. It's not that fast. They must have a fair amount of expo in there. It's so sunny today, it's kind of hard to see what's on the screen. So I'm going to have the screen in my shadow here. I'm looking at the video, it's pretty stable. I'm going to yaw around to myself here. There we go, and there I am. The picture is pretty wide angled from the camera. Let's go up a little bit more. Yeah, GPS hold mode is quite impressive actually. Very stable, very locked in. Okay, let me turn it around again. And I'll try altitude hold mode. Flipping to altitude hold mode. So it's going to drift now that there's no GPS. It's drifting to the right. But it's pretty good. Doesn't move around that much at all. I think it feels a little bit more locked in, controlled when you're in altitude hold mode, because there's not the GPS there sort of getting in your way. but you still have very good control. Turn it around and fly towards myself here. Not bad, even in altitude hold mode. The yaw is a little slow there. Bring it back here. So it does tend to have momentum and want to go in the direction that you send it until you reverse its direction, so be aware of that. So if I send it off to the right here and forward, it'll want to go that way. Now there's a little bit of breeze coming from behind me now. Tiny bit. It's pretty calm today. Bring it down a little bit. Let's see what the punch out looks like. Get it a little closer here. Alright, so I'm going to do a full throttle up. It's okay. It's a 3S battery. It's about as good as you can expect. This is not a racing quad, obviously, it's for photography and for aerial video. Okay, so I'm going to flip it back into GPS hold mode. Your lights change color. Let me try that again. Yeah, if you're in altitude hold mode, the lights are yellow. When you go into GPS hold mode, the lights turn green, the rear lights. So I'm back in GPS hold mode. Let's bring it down a little bit. See what looks like. Let's take a little bit of video of those trees over there. Alright, I'm going to try and fly an FPV and just look at the video on the screen. There's no obstacle avoidance, so I could crash into the trees if I get too close. Let me get up a little higher. Okay. Get a little closer here. And then I'm going to do a little flying to the right, just to get the trees in the video. Alright, here we go. So if I fly to the right here, you can see that it's tilted over. And the video is a little bit wobbly because there's no actual gimbal there. Back it up a little bit. So if you fly kind of gently, even though you have, in this version, you have a, no stabilization, you could probably stabilize the video in post-processing. I might try that and see if it improves the video, because I can tell that it is a little bit wobbly. But I think this is the best you can expect without an actual gimbal. Okay, I do have to turn the patch antenna towards the quad, otherwise the video gets a little shaky. Alright, so that's full stick forward there. That's full stick to the right. Full stick to the left. And it does maintain its altitude fairly good there. It's actually pretty fun to fly. So I don't notice any toilet bowling or anything like that, so it looks like the compass calibration worked pretty well. If you guys are take off and you notice that it isn't stable, that it drifts around and does this sort of circular toilet bowl, it's called toilet bowling, and you need to basically shut off everything and then start over and recalibrate, because you don't want that to happen. Okay, let me test return to home here. So the return to home should be about over there. Let's see what it does. Now, if you want to exit out of return to home, you just flip it back down, and then you can take control of it. But while it's in return to home mode, you can't control it at all. So let's just see how this does. It's turning around. It's in return to home mode. It's coming back quite fast. Whoa! There it goes. And I think it's going to try and land. Before it lands totally, I'm going to take it out of return to home mode. There he goes, trying to land. Actually, I'm going to let it land, and then I don't think it disarms on its own, so I'll have to disarm it. There you go. And then, there you go. So you have to be aware that it won't disarm on its own. You have to disarm it yourself. So I disarmed it. And then you have to also be aware that you got to take it back out of return to home mode, otherwise it'll just, when you take off, it'll try and come back again. So put it back into GPS hold mode. We have 9.5 volts on the transmitter and 11.5 on the quad. So we got plenty of flight time. I think it's about 25 minutes of flight time. So we'll go up again and get a little bit more video. Let's see, is the video still recording? It is. Let me stop that and then restart. Just to make sure I have that video in case anything happens. And we're out of return home. We're in GPS mode. Okay, let's take off again. There we go. There's some flies here. It's gonna be getting some kind of interference or something. I noticed the lights turned red. Not exactly sure what that is. I'm still in GPS hold mode. I have 12 satellites. Okay, the voltage has dropped to 10.8 volts, so I think it's warning me that the voltage is getting low. Let me just test the camera tilt. I'm going to tilt the camera down. It's very hard to see in the sunlight. The screen is not very bright. Okay, so I have it almost tilted back. Actually, I have it tilted a little bit backwards. You can see me. I'm actually behind the quad, and you can see me right there in the screen, the lower part of the screen. So let me just point it straight down, and let's do yaw. Just want to see what this looks like in video. Not bad. So turn around facing me, and then I'll point the camera back up. Just using the dial here to control the one-axis gimbal, or the servo on there. Looking pretty good, and then go backwards. About 10.8 volts. Probably got to land pretty soon. I don't want to take any chances and kill the battery. Let's go up a little bit more. Yep, that's the warning I'm getting. It's this aircraft battery low, and that's why it's beeping at me. Pretty stable video. There, 10.7 volts. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and land it. Don't want to take any chances right now. Alright, come on down. Get a little lower here. Let's fly it around me here. It looks really good in the air. Alright, I think it's time to land. It is beeping quite a lot now. Alright, bring it down slow. If you do full stick down, it will crash into the ground, so be aware of that. So you want to bring it down nice and slow. And we'll disarm it. Alright. Pretty nice flyer, actually. I like it. There it goes, the flight demo of the Hubsan X4 Pro. I hope you guys found that video informative. I think this thing is on promo right now from GearBest. I think it's like about $350, so it's not a bad deal for a GPS quad. And you can swap out the gimbal for something like a 2-axis gimbal, and I think those are pretty reasonable for like $40. So I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested in checking that out. Hope you guys liked this video. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.